All right, so for today's class, we're going to be jumping into ACED, that one of the algebra standards. Our learning intention states that we'll be learning to combine properties of equality and equivalent expressions in order to write equivalent equations, inequalities, and formulas. One of the success criteria states that we're going to be rearranging formulas for a specified value. This learning intention has several different success criteria, but this is the one we'll be focusing on today. There also could be referred to as literal equations. You'll hear that term as we continue. First, we'll go through and we'll talk about how it is, and we'll do a Desmos activity, and then we'll attack some of the worksheets. Okay, so literal equations, they talk about just finding a specified value. All right, so if I say V is equal to IR, find R. So if I'm trying to find R with an equation like this, I just have to get R by itself. So in order to get R by itself, I divide by I, right? So then R is equal to V over I. I'm recording. So what if I say find I? And the equation is V equals I R.
Then it'd be V over R.
So I divide by R because R is beside I, right? And I need to find I, which means I need I to be by itself. So I have to divide R to get rid of R. And whatever you do to one side, you have to do it to the next side. So this cancels out. So I is equal to V over R. Resume. Let's look at this question. F is equal to WPY. And the question says find P. So since F is equal to WPY and I need to find P, I need to get rid of that W and Y, right? Because I need P to be by itself. So in order to do that, I need to divide by W and Y. I'm just going to do it together. Why not? And whatever you do to one side, do it to the other side. So I'm trying to find P, but W and Y is in the way. So P is equal to F over WY. That's the answer. We're literally just taking out the numbers and using letters. That's it. Because if we had a number for F, if we had a number for W, if we had a number for Y, we just divide it through. But we don't have any numbers for them, so we're just using the letters. All right, so let's look at this question. It says 7x plus P all divided by F is equal to 10. And then it's asking me to find P. What do you think my first step for this one would be? So whenever I have questions like this and all of it is like divided by something, I want to get rid of the number at the bottom first. You always want to try and get rid of numbers or letters at the bottom. So since this is dividing by F, in order to get rid of it, I need to multiply by F. Whatever you do on one side, you do to the next side. 7x plus P is equal to 10F. Whenever you have something at the bottom in the denominator of a fraction or something, get rid of it first. That's what I would do. And normally you just multiplying by whatever, because since it's already dividing and you're going to do the multiplicative inverse, you're gonna multiply it by f, multiply by whatever it is. So then now I could do the additive inverse. And since I'm trying to find p, I need to get rid of 7x. So I minus 7x from both sides. So p is equal to 10f minus 7x. That's it. That's your answer because p is equal to something. So just to recap, my original question was 7x plus p over f, and they asked me to find they asked me to find p. So I want to get rid of the denominator first. So since it was dividing by f, I multiplied by f. Whatever you do on one side, you do it on the next side. So it's 10f. And then I did the additive inverse to minus 7x from both sides, so I could have p by itself. For this question right here, I could have asked you, what is f? I could have asked you, find x. You would do whatever operation necessary to get that variable by itself. And it's all about the multiplicative inverse, additive inverse, whatever it is. Just understand that if you have a number at the bottom or a letter or whatever it is, get rid of it first. It will help. So let's do it as if we were trying to find x now. Before we found p, but now we're trying to find x. Like I said, if there is a letter or a number or something at the bottom, get rid of it first. So since this is divide f, I'm going to multiply f. And whatever you do on one side, you do it on the other side. So 7x plus p is equal to 10f. Yeah. And it's asking me to find what x is. So I need to get rid of the p, because p, I don't want p on that side. So I have to minus p from both sides. So 7x is equal to 10f minus p. Now I need to get rid of the 7, which means I have to divide by 7. And whatever you do on one side, you got to do it on the other side. You got to divide the whole thing by 7. Because whatever I do, it's whatever I do on one side, I do it on the other side. But if the other side has more than one term, I have to do it to all the terms. I can't just do it to one term. All right, so x is equal to 10f minus p over 7. For this one, it says find p. P is right here. I need to get it by itself. This is over 1, right? That's the imaginary 1. So I'm going to rewrite this. Because if you're multiplying, these are multiplying. That's going to be 5y minus 8q over 2. The first thing I'm going to do, I have a 2 in the denominator. I need to get rid of it first. Whenever you have something in the denominator, just get rid of it. I'm going to do a minus, another minus 2. I multiply by 2. Whatever you do on one side, you do it on the other side. Because I'm trying to get rid of this 2 in the denominator. It's in the way. So 12u is equal to p times 5y minus 8q I want to do a side note for a little bit. So let's go over here. I want to see what you would do. So if I had 12u equals px, and I said find p, I would divide by x. So I could get p by itself. So 12u over x is equal to p. Now look at this question. 12u is equal to p times 5y minus 8q. What can I do to get P by itself?
Move the point.
Yes, so what I'm trying to show the similarity between both is this entire term right here, because it's in a parentheses, I could divide the whole thing. Do we see that that whole thing in the parentheses is multiplying by P? Because if I was supposed to work this out, I would have to do the distributive property. This whole thing is multiplying by P, and because it's multiplying by P, the whole thing, I could divide by the whole thing. If it wasn't in parentheses, that's a whole different case, but it's in parentheses. And whatever you do on one side, you do it on the other side. And then now I could, right here, that cancels out, similar to how the x's would cancel out over here on the right side. That would cancel out as well, because it's the same term. Anything divided by itself cancels out. So P is equal to 12u divided by 5y minus 8q. That's just like a good quick introduction to how we solve these literal equations. Basically just finding a variable whenever it's asked for. So I could have asked you for P, I could have asked you for U, I could have asked you for Y, I could have asked you for Q, whatever it is. All right. If you have any questions, let me know.